Fake carrots. Fake fruit. Fake. Fake. Fake grapefruits. Fake. Liar! You liar!
Is it over for CERVEZA bug? You and I, yeah, we've had enough of this. The world, folks, the world has had enough of this. We have underplayed or underreported on Italy. They're about to have a Mussolini moment with their leadership over there. In Canada, the convoy, farmers, truckers, Canadian people have had enough. Some areas just love being held captive, like Australia, New Zealand. Not all of them, but enough to maintain the lie, folks. But the lie is unraveling. In America, the reason that the booster rooster who's always cock-a-doodle-doing about his stuff, the booster rooster is a doctor, so look out. But the president and his course of actions, including CERVEZA bug, is the worst president ever as far as the polls are concerned, making Jimmy Carter look like a stalwart intellectual. It might be over for CERVEZA bug. These just might be the last death throes. Is it going to end tomorrow? No. But it is waning, and I think it's going to continue to go downhill. Both the support for the booster rooster and his program, as well as the evidence continuing to show it's failing. And not only that, not only has the booster rooster and his system failed, but there is an alternative that's been out there for a long time, folks, decades, that is now getting the light. It is now getting the light of truth on it. Where do we start first? I'm going to start with that first. There's a Zero Hedge article, and it asks, has the red carpet been rolled out for a mainstream pivot on the horse paste? Folks, Kowa, Japanese company, Kowa Company Ltd. It is a Japanese pharmaceutical company. And they're taking it another step, folks. They're in phase 3 trials. Phase 3 trials, folks, to cure horses of their worms. And what they found, folks, is that it's not just effective against CERVEZA bug, but it's an antiviral. I mean, this is covered in Reuters, Associated Press. The media source for media sources is covering this. The Japanese company has done its trials, folks, and proven that it works. So why are we still laboring under this lie, this illusion of bullshit? Why are we listening to liars? Well, we had a great little discussion, did we not? A great little discussion about fascism. That is to say, corporations bribing or donating money. I stand corrected. It's donating money to political causes, political action committees, political candidates, buying their influence. Strange that the Supreme Court, SCROTUS, has ruled that a form of free speech, that corporations have a right to free speech. So if corporations, by executing political free speech, do so by donating money, that's how they're heard. Yet our free speech can be squashed. The people's free speech doesn't exist, but corporate free speech does. If ever there was a case for fascism, that would be it all by itself. Thank you, SCROTUS. Thank you, federal government, for cleaning your hands of any wrongdoing by legitimizing or legalizing bribery, graft, corruption, and immorality. Let us move on, though, folks. You see, it's not just about money. It's about us. There's a new plague on the world, folks. It's called Bazooka Joe gum. Love your satire, folks. Listen carefully. A 28-year-old businesswoman in England has now spoken out because she is suffering serious problems. Wake up, people. Serious business. There's a major problem with Bazooka bubblegum. And she writes this. She says, I have to speak out. And she did so through Twitter. I had my first Bazooka Joe gum because I was made to believe it was the correct thing to do. But a week after now, it changed my life and turned on its head. I am now having full body paralysis, seizures, speech issues, nearly diagnosed amnesia, migraines every day, blood in my ear, vertigo, nausea, and more. I want my story to be heard to save others from this happening to them. It wasn't a tweet, it was an Instagram. They said it would protect me. They said it would protect others. They said it could save lives, save us. They said we need at least 1, then 2, now 3 sticks of Bazooka gum. How many more until we're all grieving? Of course, folks, this is just satire. It's just a joke. It's just a parody. If you're on Patreon, you get the links to these stories and you can get the real words, right? Because this channel here, oh no, it's just satire. Find out what Japan is saying. Find out where the world is at. And yes, if you watch the last video about Syria, guess what? They're having to move in a different direction. They're changing the narrative and rolling over from CERVEZA BUG, and they're rolling over to good old-fashioned conflict, fear, saber rattling, you know, malarkey, as the president would say. It's a bunch of malarkey. Well, they make a living off of malarkey, folks. That's all they've got. Wake up, get prepared, understand the facts, not propaganda and lies. What is true and what is fake. I am just satire. You, my friends, can understand and possess facts and truth for yourselves. And then the next thing I'm going to ask, as always, is please share these facts. Japanese medical company, their big pharma has a story that the world needs to hear. That Reuters, an international mainstream media source for information, Reuters is covering this. Fact. People are getting sick everywhere. They're having serious reactions. It's being hidden. It's being lied about. It's being propagandized. Fact. Is it? Or is it just satire? Am I just making a joke? Is this all parody of Planet X? Planet X, you know, bizarro land, where things are backwards, where the most obvious thing in the world would be to study something that works instead of hiding it. Yeah, we're on bizarro world, folks. On bizarro world, it has hit the fan, and it always hits the fan. It'll continue to hit the fan. You know, welcome to bizarro land, folks. Bizarro world, where nothing makes sense, where evil, corruption survives, thrives, and enriches itself at your expense. I miss the real world, folks, where logic, critical thinking, common sense, all worked with wisdom and education, and then it was shared freely with the people for their benefit, not for the benefit of elitists who want to capitalize on fear, ignorance, stupidity, and greed. Good golly, folks. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Spread the word to others. Share this video with others. It is only through enlightenment, understanding, possessing facts that the rest of the world can fully wake up and start making the demands necessary. Justin Trudeau in Canada, come out of your hidey hole and knock this nonsense off and put an end to the CERVEZA madness. Joe Biden, put an end to the madness. The rest of the world, put an end to it. We all see it for what it is. At this point, you're just a bunch of liars screaming your lies into the wind and convincing us that you are doing it intentionally. Wow. Actual call to legitimate thinking of our business and world leaders. I know. I jest. I reach too far. But I do believe we need to send our information to our friends, family, loved ones, contacts around the world, using any social media you can to spread facts. At least get people to look at things for themselves and decide what is fact, rather than listening to CNN or listening to NBC, MSNBC, or listening to political pundits work their pundits and expecting us to believe their propaganda and lies. What is fake news? What is misinformation? That's for us to decide, not them. Get prepared, folks. That is something I think we should all agree on, because those in power are not going to give up the reins of tyranny very quickly or easily. Chance favors the prepared mind is yours. Semper Fi, Godspeed, and I'll be back soon.